Today's world of audio production allows you to be halfway across the world collaborating with another person. In this movie, we'll explore importing tracks from one Logic project to another to make this kind of collaboration possible. Here we have a nice ukulele part, some piano, and a tambourine. Let's listen to it. We sent this off to a collaborator to add some parts. Our collaborator sent back a Logic project folder. It's called blocks overdubs. So it's a regular logic.x file, regular Logic project file, and some corresponding audio files and other things that the collaborator added. Now, if our collaborator just sent a bunch of audio files and no Logic project, we could easily pull them in by dragging and dropping them in the main window. But because our collaborator used Logic Pro 10 like us, each track could have MIDI, patches, complex mix routing, audio edits, loops, etc. With Logic's Import Project tool, we can get all that good stuff to come into our project. To do that, we'll go to File, Import, Logic Projects. And here we get a Finder view where we need to find the project we're going to import. So it's already actually set to go to Blocks Overdubs, and we just want to click on the Blocks Overdubs. So it's looking to have you find a .logicx project file. So this is the one we want. Click Import, and the browser on the right opens up. And here we have a list of all the tracks that are in the Blocks Overdub project that our collaborator sent. There's actually 9 tracks plus a master track. You can see if I go like this, we can see the track names. And then we have the option to include content, meaning whatever regions are on the track, plugins for those tracks. See, it tells us what each track had going on with plugin processing and even software instruments like the EXS24. We can choose to include sends, I/O, automation. In this case, we want all that stuff, but in other cases, you might want to just take the plugins or just the content and leave the plugins alone. You have the option to import only certain aspects of each track. But here's a quick way to select all the stuff for each track. If I click on Sparkle Sounds and option click any of these boxes, it'll just select everything that's available. Now you'll notice some of these don't have stuff available, like for example, the automation on the marimba track is grayed out. Well, that's just simply because that track didn't have any automation in it in the other project. I'm going to option click, and I can actually shift click all these tracks and then option click one of them, and all the checkboxes will be highlighted. Now down here, the ones that don't have numbers, those are our output tracks. We already have an output track in our current project, so we don't need to bring it in. It's also aux tracks, so there was some reverb processing going on. We can either choose to include this or not, and you'll see when we import this stuff that if you don't include it, your current project will ask to make new ones. So let's just keep these unchecked for now. Also, by the way, you can sort this list if you had like 80 million tracks in here and you only want to look at audio tracks, for example. You can use these filters up above to sort it out and just see audio tracks or just instrument tracks, just aux tracks, etc. You can also check the global button, and you can bring things in like your global tracks from your other project. So you can bring in markers or time signatures from another project. So that's a really cool thing to do. Oops, it actually deselected all my stuff here. So shift click and then option click. Actually, I don't want the master, so let me uncheck that. Do that one more time. Unselect that and option click. There we go. So I have everything checked I want to bring in, these 9 tracks, and I'm going to click add. And like I said, this would happen. Logic's going to ask us about some of these reverbs, and it's saying by selecting add, you can create a new aux, or you can choose an existing aux from your project corresponding. So let's just do that. I'm going to get a bunch of these because each of these tracks had reverb sends, but this is just automatically using ones that are available in our current project. So when we're done, we can close the browser, and you can see all of that good stuff came in. So this is, like I said, more than just straight up flattened audio regions. These are loops. It not only brought in the MIDI, but it also loaded up a patch. So it's very beneficial to use the import projects because we get all that good metadata that's part of our collaborator's project. Let's take a listen to it. Super cool sounding. So project import in Logic Pro 10 is a lifesaver, and here we saw how to bring in a ton of tracks, but you can even use it to do something as simple as bringing in just a track setting you liked from another project, or maybe a bunch of time-based markers in the global tracks from another project.